Okay, here we go. I have no idea what is going to happen. I decided today to show up and film just as I am for you. Hi, darling. I am not even sure if I'm going to post this video. I am trying to practice showing up as I am, and today I had planned to film some videos and I was really not in the mood, and I was like, what if we just did it anyway? So I'm here and I made this video for you, and I hope that it offers some benefit. So I'm filming this in reverse order. I am filming this as an intro right now. I already filmed myself doing a contemplative writing practice or a journaling practice. And I thought I would film myself doing that as a demonstration to kind of share how I do that practice. I sometimes get asked about the journaling practice or all of the different practices that I do, and I thought, what better way than to really share a live demonstration? So it was a bit vulnerable. I am going to do my best to not do a lot of editing on this video. I probably will still edit. I probably will still make a lot of cuts, but as much as I can, I'm going to try to edit, not to kind of polish my words or what I'm doing, but really to take out the dead air. Because one thing about the way that I film is there's a lot of dead air. There's a lot of me kind of staring blankly at the camera. There's a lot of me staring out the window and kind of falling into doubt and falling into just kind of spacing out or getting lost in thought, or there's a lot of that. So I wanted to make a video that was just me showing up on a day that I didn't really want to show up, to just be real with my feelings and how I work with these feelings. Now, to be fair, it wasn't like I was at, let's say that from a 1 to 10, 10 being absolute panic and, intense distress. I wasn't a 10. I was probably a 6. But even that showing up for me on camera was something. So I'm glad I did it. We'll see if this video makes it out. The reason I did it was because, like I said, I wanted to demonstrate how I do my journaling practice or my contemplative writing practice as an alternative practice to what I just would call contemplative sitting or traditional meditation or mindfulness meditation. And I guess by sharing my writing practice, I really wanted to demonstrate how that can be an alternative that's still very much developing awareness, developing compassion, and developing our wisdom, and developing our connection with this wisest version of ourselves, with this light, with this bigger sense of self, if you will. All right, so let's get to the writing practice. Okay, here we go. I have no idea what is going to happen, but I decided today to show up and film just as I am for you. Hi, darling. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for my past self that, may be out there. You might be similar to my past self, the past version of myself that could have really used a practice like this. So today, I'm just going to demonstrate how I do my contemplative writing practice. So let's just get into it. What is here? Heaviness. Uncertainty. Heaviness, uncertainty, worry, big worry, unease, As I feel into my body, I can feel my shoulders are tight. Shoulders are tight. A ball in my stomach. Heaviness on my chest. Darkness. And some flutters. Flutters in my stomach. Ball in my stomach and flutters in my stomach. Flutters in my head too. Okay, then I ask myself, what does it need? So this part of me that is dark, that is heavy, that is feeling uncertain, that is feeling worried. I mean, it's okay to feel this way sometimes. That's what I need to hear. I need to hear that it's okay to feel this way. I don't need to do anything right now. I don't need to try to change it. It wants to be acknowledged that this is hard and this is a hard place to be. I see you, I hear you, and this is hard right now. You really don't like uncertainty and not being able to control things. This is really hard. So as I'm doing this, I'm noticing my habits of I start to write in the second person. So I already am starting to refer to myself back to myself as you. So it's almost as if I'm already kind of embodying or slipping into this other part of me that can offer something back to me. So it's interesting. I've been doing this for many years, so I think I just kind of know what works for me in this sense of slipping into a dialogue. So it's almost like, asking myself the question, and then something else responds, another part of me. And I do see this part of me as my highest self, my future self, my wisest, most evolved version of me, kind of this dialogue, this conversation happening back and forth. So this is really hard. Yeah. This is really hard. You're doing a good job. Whoa, you're doing a good job. You are doing your best. And you really have your heart in the right place. So I know for me, I usually just need this. I need to hear acknowledgement from somewhere, from this inner voice, this higher voice. I definitely need to tell myself that I don't need to change it, and that it's okay, because sometimes I get squirmy and I feel like I shouldn't be feeling this way, or I get into that like productivity mindset with my practice where like this is something that we need to change and feel better and fix. So I really try to remind myself that there's nothing to do. There's nothing that I need to change right now. I'm going to write that out. There's nothing to fix or change. You are all right, just as you are. And sometimes I pause and I kind of read back what I've written. You put a lot of pressure on yourself, darling. You are allowed to rest and relax and just be. You don't have to do it all. You're not going to get in trouble. So these are all messages that I know that I need to remind myself. These are all, messages to my inner child, for example, who is always afraid that she'll get in trouble or that she's not doing a good enough job. So yeah, it feels good to give myself that from the perspective of a caring parent or, a loving, older, wiser figure. And so already, as I'm writing, even though this is a writing practice, I'm really trying to stay connected with my body. And as I am writing, it's like, I can start to, I've already named what is here in the first question. I have recognized and identified those things, and a lot of times it feels like, okay, it feels lighter because I've unloaded that. And then in asking myself, what does it need? I've given myself a lot of compassion and a lot of kind words, reassurance, acknowledgement, and I can really, even in my posture right now, intentionally bring in more softness, but I truly can feel that there is a little shift. So I move on to what is possible. And so this is when, if I'm imagining that there is this wiser, older future self that I'm dialoguing with, that I'm connecting with, here I kind of either remember when I have really been in that place of wisdom and truth and centeredness and connected with this more expansive sense of self. And I can either remember and kind of remember what it feels like to be back there, and I can write about that possibility, or I can kind of envision this version of me, this part of me. Maybe it's the future part of me, and I can describe how it might feel like to be them. They're on the other side. They have, worked through this. They are in that place where they are really connected with this truth. They're free. They're free from these emotions. They're in light. They're lighter. So what's possible? It's possible to rest in deep trust. It's possible to at once hold the worry tenderly and also hold trust. It's possible to zoom out and see the long view. Remember that there are lessons here that I may not yet understand. It's possible to breathe easily, to smile softly. It's possible to show up anyway and feel it all and allow it all to be. Imperfect. So here, some of this really overlaps with the what does it need question. So it's like, what does it need? What is possible? Because sometimes what it needs, what I need, what that part of me needs is to remember possibility. So it's really kind of fluid, and I'm not really fussy about, what section I'm writing things in. These are really just guiding questions and prompts to help me move through feeling, recognizing, giving myself what I need, and then really moving in gently into possibility. So again, and what is possible might just be to allow it, so I'm not kind of forcing myself to it's possible to feel amazing and it's possible to feel completely peaceful. No, that's why I really say, it's possible to hold both, because that feels more accessible, so it's kind of like reaching for the next closest accessible way of being, not forcing, not rushing myself to sort of be in this place of peace and enlightenment. So maybe this is enough for now. So I'm going to read it again. It's possible to rest in deep trust. It's possible to at once hold the worry tenderly and also hold trust. It's possible to zoom out and see the long view. Remember that there are lessons here that I may not yet understand. It's possible to breathe easily, to smile softly. It's possible to show up anyway and feel it all and allow it all to be imperfect. Yeah. Sometimes right after I write, I feel lighter. I feel like I've emptied these thoughts, and sometimes that feels like a good time to meditate. Right now, I really feel like my mind is a lot quieter compared to when I first started, and I've sort of dumped these things on the page and gotten this little glimmer of kindness to myself and a glimmer of hope. And just this really gentle reminder that, okay, all of this is here and I can be with it. I have the capacity to be with it. So a lot of times this is, especially when there are intense emotions brewing, this is a much better time for me to meditate rather than before I do my writing. So I think that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go sit for a few minutes. All right, welcome back. So I'm filming this a little while after I did the writing practice. Like I said in the video, at the end of my writing, I did feel lighter like I usually do, and I did go to have a sit or a silent meditation. A lot of times that's a better time for me once I feel a little bit more settled and a little bit more cleared out, for me to kind of then be able to sit quietly and be with it all and really integrate the writing practice and integrate that sense of recognizing what was happening in that moment, what was moving through me, integrating how I wanted to be with it and what I was offering to myself, which was the kindness and the care. And then also really sealing that sense of wisdom at the end and that sense of possibility of being with it in a wise way. So I do feel better. The emotions in the video today were very much real. It feels weird to be putting this out there. Again, even though I know I wasn't like at a 10 as far as intensity or difficulty, for me, this was like, I guess this was an edge that was uncomfortable, but also felt still reasonable and safe for me to share and practice and model and really, demonstrate one of the ways that I do my practice. I hope that it gave you some possibility. I hope it maybe expanded possibilities for you, for your own personal practice. And I guess the big takeaway that I really want for you is that personal practice or spiritual practice can look many different ways. And at least in the traditions that I've been trained in, there was a lot of emphasis on silent sitting meditation. And there are other ways to practice. And some days when we can't sit, or some days when we can't practice in one way, having another alternative can keep the consistency going for us. So even if one day I write, and one day I meditate, and one day I dance through it, and one day I have a conversation with my mom about it, it's all practice because I'm practicing the capacity to pay attention, to recognize what's happening, to meet myself with acceptance and care, and to try to, tiptoe into a place of perspective and wisdom and this loving awareness with it all. So it's really all the same. I feel like the muscle that we're working is the same, even if the format or the modality is slightly different. If you made it this far, thank you for watching and for really being in practice with me. I love you and I mean it. And I'll see you next time.